Good morning, everybody. What is going on? What's up, macaroons, Grandpa Roger, Jocko, Toad? Good to see y'all this morning. Hope you guys are doing well so far. We had CPI obviously this morning, hence this ridiculousness in here. Looks like that is all going to be completely reversed here. I did remember, guys, to clear my cache yesterday, so hopefully my bars are looking good. If they are not, they don't look like your bars, it might be you, might not be me this time. I don't see any setups that I would have taken. I'm just kind of looking over everything. Obviously, you don't want to be trading any of this news action. Just kind of let it play out. This already has a break in a new high. Now we're moving down. I got this channel tight so far. I already have a break and a new low. So we'll see how prices react now. If we start to push up, try to get above the EMA, then this should be valid. We might just continue to drop, and I'll consider a wider channel as well. Pontus, good morning. Yikes, trading the news. Oh man, that's sketch stuff, Pontus. That's sketch stuff. You got to be careful with that. What if it would have went the other way? I did, Brant. Yeah, I did it live on stream. Trying to remember when. I think it was Friday. One of those days. So yeah, passed that eval. Got that sucker funded. So we're gonna try to do it again. So starting afresh. This is week 1. Haven't taken any trades on it yet. Gonna try the same strategy of just being patient, trading probably more contracts than I got to on it. But since I'm only doing it during the live stream in the morning, you know, I don't want it to take 6 months. So really should only be like maybe 4 trades or just a couple with a runner. And should get that one funded as well. No worries, Brant. I've never used an order flow chart. That's interesting. Are you enjoying that? I gotta switch my profit target here with how high things have been. I'm gonna go for 3 points, that is. Nice. I'm glad that's been helpful for you. I do not want to add anything else to my charts. Yeah, it would take a lot for me to add something else. I don't want to figure something else out, you know? I could totally see how that would help. Here we go, bouncing above the EMA, it looks like. So this is giving me some confidence in that channel I just drew, that indeed it is played out with a break and a new low. Just so everyone knows what I'm talking about, here's this channel. Price action rules: when you have a break of a channel right here, you expect a new extreme to be formed. If it's a down channel, a new low to be formed, that's right here. And then you can expect prices to go the other way, which is exactly what is happening. Price action rules playing out perfectly. And we can start to try to find a channel going up here. And if we stay above the EMA, we'll start looking for a long position. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Jocko. It's like, whoa, there's a lot to take in visually on those footprint charts. Yeah, but I hear you, Brent. When there's, with all this low volume, it's like, man, you gotta figure out something. It's been crazy. I actually went back and do this from time to time. I will load a day of trading from like some random day from months and months ago or years ago, and just scroll through it bar by bar, you know, and basically trade the whole day, mark where I would have entered, and just to practice and continue to develop. And anyway, I did that in a random day over the summer. It was like in June, and I was just shocked like how many bars formed the entire day. It took me forever to get through, just way more than what's currently been happening. Just reminded me of how slow and crappy it's been the last couple months. No, NinjaTrader goes back more than that. At least for me, I can load like back to like last May on NinjaTrader. But yeah, I'm sure there's sites where you can go farther than that if you want. Actually, I think you could do more than that on NinjaTrader. I think you can go back like several years. I just haven't taken the time. No, what I do, Brant, I don't like, I just load the whole day and just scroll to the beginning. Because I don't know, it kind of lags on me when I try to do like the replay and have that bar's actual form, and I'm not gonna spend, 8 hours doing that. So I just reload the whole day and just arrow through, so one bar appears at a time, because that's really all that matters with these price action strategies. Okay, how's the next bar going to finish, right? So you can see the finished bar, you're going to make the same decisions as you would live. Obviously you can't, that takes away if a bar forms really fast and you have to like jump in or whatever, but I mean, it's the point of it is to be able to identify setups and make decisions, not like enter and exit trades, the actual button clicking. So anyway, yeah, I would highly recommend that for anyone who is trading at all, trading price action at all, even if you're already pretty well accomplished. Like, practice, man. Practice makes perfect. So load a day, go to the very beginning, click through bar by bar, and do everything you would, you know, draw your channels, figure out what's going on, figure out what your bias is. When you see a bar that you would want to enter on, mark it, and then scroll through and see if it would have won or not. I even have a spreadsheet where I keep track of my wins and losses from that, and have like a whole set of stats just from practicing. Because think about it, like, you know, one of the main things as traders that we want, that we need to continue to develop is screen time, right? Well, going through a whole day of trading is whatever, 6-8 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. Well, what if you could do a whole day in 20 minutes? Kind of, yeah, squeezing your screen time into smaller window. So really maximizes your ability to practice. Where here you might have to wait for an hour for something to develop. If you're scrolling through an old chart, you can see it in 5 minutes. So anyway, it's a little bit of a tangent. I was hoping we were gonna hold above the EMA and we could get a failed second entry short, because this downtrend is played out with that break in a new low. So we're not looking for shorts anymore there, looking for the market to bounce. So we were hoping to get a push above the EMA, which was happening, and then a first entry short and a second entry short that then fails. But now this is happening. We already have a break of this channel. And on those failed second entry shorts, you really want to see that happen, you know, kind of in one move, in one channel like this. But it's not. We're getting one big leg, so it'll likely look like this, and then not going to take that as a failure, and can't take it short because the main move is already completed. So just got to wait here. And since the EMA did reject prices, we might start looking for a larger channel. That's looking like it's fitting pretty well. So we'll see. If prices stay below the EMA here, we'll trade this channel. But want to be cautious because this short-term bull channel can still get a new extreme. But we have our first entry short right here. If we get a pullback to this key entry point here, and then give a second entry on a nice bearish bar, I might consider taking that short. It will have to form really nicely because we also have the open in 8 minutes, 9 minutes, so likely will not get anything there, but we'll see. Well, if you're enjoying the time so far, guys, Please give this stream a like. Help out the algorithm. Let people know this is good stuff. Got 8 minutes till open now. We'll see if this CPI move can completely be reversed. The 10K's EMA held prices once. We'll see if it can hold prices again, and maybe we'll get a bounce here. Speaking of which, hey Gary, good morning. I'm gonna switch over to the 10K, see how things are looking. Yeah, definitely looks like one big channel on the 10K as well. We just have our first entry and it's kind of going pretty low, so I don't even know that we're going to get a second entry here. Not gonna get that push up for that second entry, unfortunately. I'm just taking a look at the daily too. Still, you know, looks like we need a longer term correction. We're definitely in a range on the daily, and we're at the top of that range, so pretty soon here we will likely go down. Maybe another bullish day to lure in some more bulls, trap them on the way down. Yeah, failed second entry long would be cool for sure. Or a second entry short if it forms. I think we've moved too far down for both of those though. I think we're gonna have to wait for I'll move all the way to the bottom of the channel. So that gets confirmed, and then second entry short to form here. Well, hopefully the EMA2 will end up right there. That's what I'm looking for, guys. If this beautiful drawing doesn't make sense to you, then, ah man, there's just nothing I can do for you. ATR is going down a little bit. I think I'm going to drop my target to 2.5 points. We are definitely just in no man's land over here. Riding that 10K EMA. Bet you we're right on the midline. Yep. Okay, so here's our pullback. We do have a chance for a second entry short. Gonna be really hard to take right on the open though. Not touching the EMA either. I think I'll risk it though if it forms. If we move a little bit higher here, and that, oh boy, I better get ready. This might form quick. That's already our second entry. Yeah, there's no play there anymore. And we keep bouncing right here at the 10K's EMA. Not a great sign. Oh, sorry to hear that, Gary. Down 37 bucks ain't bad though. We never got to the bottom of the channel before we're bouncing here. See all that space? So the shorts are quickly becoming less of an ideal setup. Yep, Apex is still doing 80% off, Gary, for another week. So, and also every valuation that you get will enter you into the chance to get a free PA. They're giving away $1 million worth of performance accounts. So, code's down here, links down in the description. Yeah, definitely take advantage of that while it's around. Yeah, so we might get another second entry short that forms here. I don't feel great about it because, again, of the space at the bottom of the channel. This could definitely continue to bounce. We're above the EMA now, so it'd certainly not take a second entry short above the EMA. And there is the second entry short. It's going, it's working. No way to get in on that. But price action rules still playing out here. We had that channel coming down, and even though we didn't touch the bottom of the channel, that kept me out of any trades right here. But we still have a break of the channel right here, and expecting to move to a new low, or at least an attempt, and that's what's happening right now. Yeah, if you were going to play that at all, you would have had to take the second entry short as it formed right here below that bullish bar. So don't go short below bullish bar. Not a good idea. Right on the EMA. Can't take that trade. But this time it worked out. Would have been a winner. And again, the 10K EMA looking like it is supporting prices. I'm going to switch over to the 10K. This really looks like it could still, this channel still be in play. But look at that. Look at all that support across the bottom there. I mean, this could really just bounce violently here. Also have like a mini range that's forming right here. And on the daily, we are now breaking out. So we're kind of above the most recent consolidation. Kind of looks like a bull flag, and this could be a false breakout, and we could really drop here. I'm not sure if I would take the failed breakout if it forms here. I don't know if I can short this, to be honest. We do have a range, but we already had a break and attempted a new low. I don't even know if that channel needs an actual new low before we bounce here, so I will likely hold off. Although that is a move up, a break, and a new extreme. That looks like two equal legs as well. So a failed breakout here might work. Maybe if we get a nice bearish bar, I'll try it. Oh, there we go. There was a failed breakout. No way you can enter that. Just comes up and drops right off. We'd wanted to see a little bit of a move higher and then a finish like right here. Close of that bearish bar right around there. So, oh well. I do not know if I'm going to take a failed breakout to the downside. This looks a little strong to try to fade. Ooh, that's low risk. Shoot, that formed fast. That would have been worth it. Dang. I was about to take that, and then it just rocketed up. That would have been perfect, man. Right on the bottom of the channel. Small bar, low risk. Shoot. That formed fast. Yeah, you would only risk 2 points there. To make 2 points, 1-to-1, I'll take that any day. Hope someone caught that. Anyone catch that little triple test bullish bar right at the bottom of the range? Ooh, that would have been pretty close to get out. Nice, Carlos. Good trade. And now that we have 2 legs down, this might even be a better failed breakout down here. Although that is pretty strong. Those bearish bars are pretty strong, so I might not want to mess with that. Yeah, that's moved too far down. I would need a failed breakout and a higher low. Thanks for that call out, Israel. Gap filled from overnight. Let's see if we can get a higher low here. Now we definitely have a new low of this downtrend. I had to move down, break, new low. Now we can for sure see a new bullish trend form. Could be temporary, could be just a small correction before we continue down, but definitely expecting some movement upwards here. Jocko, I think people talk about gaps different, so you'll likely hear different thoughts on it, but I mean, mainly the way that I understand gaps would be looking at a daily chart on SPY, not necessarily on ES, because they trade overnight, so it's different, but between yesterday on SPY and the regular trading session, and then where we open today, that would be the gap. Some people talk about it to the high of the day yesterday or the low of the day, and some people talk about it to the close. If we're talking about to the close, we still have not filled the gap, but we did reach yesterday's high. Hey Summit, how's it going? I just did a little Google search on floating tick counter. I can't remember where it was, but yeah, you could find it that way for sure. There's a bunch of free resources out there. Yeah, Israel, yesterday's high has been filled, so prices made it down to yesterday's high. I'm going to take a look at the 10K chart, see how things are looking there. Yep, 10K chart also looks like a break in a new low, but this is pretty strong here. So we're going to need to see a solid bounce above the EMA before we consider going long here. Could have, you know, like a shallower channel starting to form like that as well. So want to be cautious. Man, quite the move down here. So this is kind of, you know, when you see that much momentum to the downside, even though we have a break and a new low of this channel, looks like something larger is likely in play. Gonna start playing around with that. Something like this could be possible. We will see if it is confirmed. And if we do get a nice little bounce here, we'll look for a pullback that gives a second entry short like that, likely at the midline, and hopefully the EMA by that time will be right around that area. You don't want to take entries that are just way separated from the EMA. Prices have a tendency to pull back to the average. That's because you never see prices move straight up or straight down, right? And that's why we have those moving averages, because there's always corrections. Even in giant moves one way or the other, you're always going to see some pullback. So that's why we use the EMA to gauge when we've pulled back far enough and can expect another push lower or higher, whatever the case may be. Okay, we're getting a little pullback here. Gary's calling out a measured leg. I'm going to take a look at that. Yeah, that is pretty dang. Yeah, that's like right on that measured move right there. Also another reason why we would bounce there. All right, let's see if we can get a second entry short here, guys. There's our first entry. I don't think we're gonna get our second entry. This seems to me one of those times we just get a first entry and drop. But here we go. There's the pullback. First entry right there. We want one more pullback and a second entry to happen right on the EMA, right around this midline, and that will be a high probability setup. Okay, we might get it here, guys. Move up a little bit more, baby. Let's go. Move up. Come on. Come on. Go up here. Just need it to move a little bit higher, give us that second pullback, get us close to the EMA. That's where we need the second entry to form. And we will see if we get it. Yep, not so. But technically that's all still the first entry. We haven't pulled back yet, so the setup could still happen. Perfect. I like where prices are headed. Cool. Okay, we're right around the EMA. And we do have this channel has a break. Just got a new high here. We want EMA to hold prices. We don't want to push above the EMA here. We want to stay right at it, right below it. So if this bar ticks up and moves down, it's going to be a pretty decent second entry short. It does need to close below the EMA though. We might get a measured leg of this. We're right at a measured move now, so got to turn down. Starting to get a little too high. That's 2 bars that have closed above the EMA. Might have to wait for, even if we get our second entry short, at this point we might have to wait for a lower high to form to confirm it because we are now above the EMA. Oops. Yeah, I can't take that. That's only point to the EMA. So our second entry short no longer valid. At this point, we're going to need to wait for a failed second entry long. So we want to see that this area hold, definitely the 10K EMA to hold, and then a move down, a first entry, and another move down, a second entry that will trap longs who are trying to guess the reversal here, play the reversal, and then we want that to fail and we can continue our movement downward. So that is the only setup I am looking for here, and it needs to form just like so, and if it does, that will be a high probability setup. If it doesn't, that is okay. I am not going to jump into anything else. I'm going to conserve my capital. You want to wait for the most high probability trades to form. So that at this point is the most high probability scenario. Anything else? Not gonna take it. EMA holding prices again. See if we can get that failed second entry long. I like that we're pushing below the EMA. Now, I definitely could have taken a risk here. That would have been the second entry short. Sometimes if there's a big gap between the setup and the EMA, you can take it just as prices will pull back there. I didn't consider it just because of how far we moved up, but now that I'm looking at it, that might have been worth the risk. That's only almost 2 points, so it would have been 1-1. And this move had played out with a break and a new high, so that's your second entry short right there. First entry, boom, second entry. So if you risk that, not a bad idea. I don't like the lower high here as a confirmation setup because we would be going right into the EMA. This was okay just because you had the huge gap there, but now we're going to be testing it, so that's no bueno. We'll have to wait for that failed second entry long. For the failed second entry long to be viable, we need to move down here. I don't want to see any more sideways movement. So this bar needs to go down and the next bar needs to do it right here. If we put in several bars right here that kind of go sideways. Okay, that looked good. That looked good. So we need it to form right around here. Would be perfect. Don't drop. Don't drop without us. Give us one more chance to enter, please. And it's going to drop without us. Bummer, dude. It's looking too low now. Not a lower high, Matthew. Would actually be a failed second entry long. So, here was the first entry long pullback. Wanted it to happen right here around the EMA. Failed second entry long like that. Didn't set up. Now it's setting up here. That's too low. Yeah, on the daily chart, this is just going to be an eternal range. I think someone said that Al Brooks predicted that we would be in a range for the next 10 years. Are you kidding me? That would be insane. That would be absolutely nuts. Quite the strong bounce here, and that's why you don't take setups too low, right? I mean, there wasn't a second entry long failure, but even still, like if something had formed here, if you just entered on that short thinking, oh man, we really need to head to the bottom of this channel. Nope, that's why you don't do that. Wait for high probability setups. Yeah, I hope Brooks is wrong. I mean, yeah, he's a price action trader. What does he know about the next decade of market conditions. Come on, Brooks. Might be starting to form a range here. Got equal bounces there, maybe potential equal bounces here. This looks pretty strong to be fading. But maybe if we get a break at this channel, one more push up, and then a bearish bar, we can trade that. Don't want to take that bearish bar because we still could get a new high of this channel. This channel is not yet played out. With how strong this moved up to, this might be like this. Because you typically start channels off the first two swings, right? So here's the low, and then here's the first swing right here. So this is likely what the channel should look like. This looks good visually. Oh man, that is tempting right there. How big's that bar? 10 ticks? I don't know. Could definitely trap longs, but now the bar's getting too big. See where that ended up if we draw the channel this way. This looks like our break right here. So let's see a push up to a new high. Nice bearish bar. Maybe we consider going short. Looks fairly bullish on the 10K chart. Man, yeah, I don't think I trust this failed breakout here. We don't have a lot of room to the top of the channel. We're kind of bouncing right off the 10K EMA. Looks a lot more bullish here. And it already would have failed, so if you took that trade, you already would have got stopped out. see if there's a channel we could find on the 10K here. Kind of looks like that, like it already has a breaking new high. This seems too wide if we do it like that. Well, that could be. So I don't know. I don't really know what to make of the action on the 10K chart. Wonder if we could widen this. That looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, I think this is the channel we got going on. Look how nicely all those swings match up pretty perfectly. I'm starting to shift my bias here. We're above both EMAs. Got this channel forming. We could get a second entry long that forms right here. We'll see how that sets up. Let's see how the EMAs hold price. Let's judge this correction, see if it's shallow enough. We could get a nice little long. Let's check it out. Gosh, I hate how these freaking trend lines just move all the time. Do not understand why that happens. If anyone has an answer for that on NinjaTrader, please, like, help out. It's the weirdest thing. It's so annoying. Put all this work into getting these trend lines just so, and then they just kind of shift around when prices move. I don't get it. The failed second entry short, Johnny, I would not take. So that's right here. You pull back. First entry short, pull back. Second entry short, that fails. This is way too high, man. This is way too high. You're not at a key entry point if you enter up here. No, would have worked, but there's no trend line. I mean, you are bouncing off the 10K EMA. This is a very big bar. You really want failures to happen kind of at the beginning of the move. Like if you're expecting things to be bullish right here, you would want the failure to happen somewhere in here. At the beginning of the push phase. You don't want it to happen way high like that. You'll get a lot of failed trades that way. Snap mode, macaroons. I do not know. I don't know that I want it to snap because I like to kind of shift these around a little bit. If I could still shift these around like this in snap mode, that'd be cool. Let's try it out. Let's see. The pencil icon. Snap mode. Ooh, okay. Maybe that's why it was on. It still looks like it's shifting. We'll try that out though, because I don't need it to snap. All right, Gary, take it easy, man. Hope you had a decent day and finished green. I can't decide whether or not to tighten this channel so that it's off these swings right here, which is where we originally had it, but then you get this kind of weird drifting out of the channel. I think that's right, because it is correcting here. If it kept melting up, then I would consider maybe widening it or something, but this does look like, I don't think I'm going to call it a break in new extreme. I don't think that's a good enough break to call it to say that this channel is played out. So I'm still looking for that second entry long here. Need the EMA to come up. Set up to happen right around it. First entry, second entry. We'll see what we can get. That's our first entry right there, technically speaking. From the high, first time prices went above the previous bar right there, so that's our first entry. We'll need a pretty swift pullback here to make that second entry happen by the EMA. We might just make a new high here. Yep, no setup. Got a new high already. We might have like a spike in a channel, something like this. We'll see if this supports prices. Still just kind of playing around with this idea. I don't know if it's going to be accurate or not yet. Still have no trades on our new 25K evaluation account. Still got to be patient for that sucker. That's how we passed the last one, was just waiting for the best setups. Don't want to risk it because I am trading 4 contracts, which is quite a bit of leverage for the $1,500 drawdown that they give you. So I really need to be precise on this. If you're following along with a 25K account, I would probably recommend you lower your contracts or just do micros instead. It'll give you a lot more wiggle room. with your drawdown, you can take some losses and not have to worry about it. If I take one loss, we're going to be in dire straits a little bit. So but now definitely is the time if you were wanting to do some evaluations, get the chance to get funded. That sale, that 80% off sale is going on for another 6 days, I think. So the rest of this week, you can use code IMTJ. There's a link in the description. This is a pretty legit break of our channel here. I don't know that we have that guy anymore. This might just be a break and new high. I think that's what we got going on here. Just a break, move to a new high, and starting a new trend. So overall bias is down, I would say. Besides this news item, obviously, we've been working down for the last 2 hours. We have a break of this channel here. That still never got a new low, so that could certainly still happen. Or maybe this little channel I drew on the 10K is valid. Maybe, I don't know. Kind of a goofy little channel. That would have to be like this. That's way too wide. No way. No way, that's legit. But I'm gonna keep it on the 10K because it kind of looks okay, I guess. That looks strange. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it for now. Hey, Juan, nice. That is excellent. That's a great feeling. Hit your profit target for the PA account. That's awesome. So, hey, look, if you have extra days on there, Juan, don't try to trade them. Just flip to a micro account, buy and sell like instantly so it counts as a day, and ride that sucker out to the end. Everyone throw some love for Juan in the chat. Passing and evaluation, getting funded. That is awesome. Your first one too. That's awesome, Juan. Hey, listen. When you're actually trading your PA, please switch to micros initially. It's a big mindset switch going from an evaluation to a funded account. It's kind of like trading from sim and then going to live money. Like your emotion, there's going to be a difference. So I would encourage you to do micros at least initially to get comfortable with it. Like, try to get your emotions in check. You don't want to blow it after all this hard work. And guard that drawdown, man. Keep track of your drawdown. Always know where it's at. That's the main thing. Once you get above the drawdown, you're good to go. But yeah, start really small. Keep track of that, and just build slowly. Well, if we did keep this little guy up, we have a break, almost a new high, pretty much like one tick to a new high. Yeah, take it slowly. What I did, first day, dude, that sucks, Johnny. Yeah, and now they offer the lifetime fee. If you can swing that, I'd recommend that too. Kind of takes the pressure off, like you're not having to worry about making enough profit to cover the fees every month. Just do the lifetime one, and then there's no rush to make money, right? Like it's just there. You can build it slowly, take your time, all that. That red candle formed real quick. We're about to go down, my friends. That's awesome, Toad. Yeah. Yeah, if you feel any pressure to perform or like start to take out profits from your accounts, just stop, slow down, switch to micros. Not worth it. It will, if you're not like regulated emotionally, you're worried about your profits, it's just not going to go well. I've failed a couple PAs before too, so I trust me, I'm speaking from experience here. And also like having multiple PAs for me helps me mentally as well, because then I can kind of spread that out between accounts. So instead of worrying about making, enough money in one account and risking a drawdown that'll blow you up, like just making a little bit across multiple accounts helps a lot mentally. Like for example, if you're like make $20, okay, well, no, who cares about that? But if it's across 20 accounts, all of a sudden that's $400. Okay, well that's more legit. So the multiple account approach definitely helps mentally, and then obviously it has the potential to really make some crazy money, but don't worry about that. I mean, just small steps, bit by bit. No failed second entry long on this move down. Looks like it might form right here. Way too low, not close to an EMA. So you had your high right here. This is the first entry. That if that second entry had occurred right here, that would have been lovely. With this uptrend already being played out with a break and new high. You're looking for a short. You're looking to trap longs. We still could get a second entry short right here. Especially if we have this little spike in a channel deal going. Move down here. looking for a pullback. First entry, pullback. Second entry, need it to happen right near the EMAs. Need EMAs to hold prices. Switching to the 10K. Ooh, we are bouncing right off of that potential channel on the 10K. Interesting. So maybe this is valid after all. Crazy. That's why you got to throw some of those channels up there sometimes. They turn out to, you're like, no way, there's no way. You know, when this was just right here, I was like, oh, that looks way too wide. But now look at it. I still don't think I can justify drawing it on this chart, but starting to look legit. So another alternative way of drawing this, which might make more sense, is if we have this, right, as our break and new high of this channel, then our move down is actually right here. And then we have a break and a new low, and we're bouncing. So based on what prices are doing, I think that is likely what's going on. Dang, dude, look at that red candle. Oh my gosh. That formed fast. And that is our first entry short. Well, shoot. Now I'm switching down again with that strong push below the EMA. I don't think we're going to get that second entry short. See where we are on the 10K. Testing the bottom of that channel. Come on, baby. Push up. Give us one little chance here. The EMA is a little bit flat. That's slightly concerning. I think I'm going to take this, guys. If it triggers. Yeah, never mind on that. Getting a little bit confusing in here, isn't it? Looking kind of range like. Bummer. That was the second entry short I was looking for. It just didn't form right. If you noticed, I had my order ready, as you can see on my order entry tool over here. When we had this pullback, first entry, pullback, second entry, that would have been beautiful, nice bearish bar, touching the EMA a little bit far from it, but I was willing to take the risk. But it didn't trigger. This next bar pushed up, so I had to cancel my order. But then, boom, prices went exactly where I was expecting them to go. That's just how it goes sometimes. So we have 2 measured legs, even gone beyond that. I'm gonna delete that range. It's not ending up legit. Just having to do a lot of different editing on channels and everything. It's just a little bit back and forth, a little bit confusing. But it does look like we're gonna push lower to get the new extreme, the new low from our large channel. We've been expecting this. This move down and the break. Been expecting that new low. Looks like it might finally come. Unfortunately, no setup to join that. Oh, if this would have triggered, that would have been it, man. That would have been it. Well, that is 2 setups that you nearly had. The other one being, where was it? I think it was right here. That would have worked for a scalp playing that range there. That was before we knew that this was going to be a massive bearish channel. We already had our break and matching lows, triple test, little scalp on the range there, and then if this second entry short would have triggered, I would have been in that, already had my order ready, and we would be working with a massive run right now. So one thing is that, man, I really wish I would have gotten that trade. But you will notice that I didn't jump in anything. I didn't decide when it started to go my way. I didn't say like, oh man, it's working, I'm gonna get short right in here and try to ride it. If you're doing that kind of stuff, just please don't. That will really just wreck you emotionally. If you want to be successful at this, you gotta be in a clear mind, relaxed emotions, disciplined decision making. If your setup doesn't form exactly how you want it to, just stay out, even if it starts going in your direction. Because imagine this. Imagine if, okay, so I had my order here. I was waiting. This green bar invalidated it. I didn't have it trigger. And then all of a sudden this red bar goes boom, like right where I thought it was going to go. Imagine if I would have entered right there. Yes, this is working in my favor. And then all of a sudden, boom, it reversed and I take a loss. That's not a normal loss. It's one thing if you have done all the work, you've waited, you're taking a high probability setup and it loses. Okay, well, you don't feel the same way about that because you've done all the work, you've done everything you can do on your end. The market, I mean, not every trade's going to be a winner, right? You can do everything. This is a game of probabilities. There will be some losers, but if you've made the best decisions, then the losers don't hurt. It's like, oh, okay, well, that one didn't work out, but I did everything right. But if you jump in on a trade that you know you're not really supposed to, it's more of an impulse, and then it loses, that will just wreck you emotionally, lead to, you know, going on tilt and all these things. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you're struggling with that, just imagine, before you enter a trade like that, imagine how you would feel if it loses. If you can, before you enter a trade, if you can say to yourself, you know what, I'm okay with taking a loss here because it's a good decision, then go for it. But if just imagine how you'd feel if it lost on something like this. And for me, that works to keep me out of a lot of stuff, because I know what that feels to take a loss on a trade that I don't really believe in. So anyway, a little rant. We're bouncing right off of the kind of where some of that support was this morning. You bet, Jocko. It's just so important, man. I gotta talk about it, because it really will make the difference. Ultimately, the strategy is not hard to learn. You know, trading second entries, trading price action is not that difficult to learn. The actual setups, what you're looking for. And this goes across trading, right? Like, any profitable strategy is likely not that hard to learn. But it is hard to execute and master your emotions. So focus on that, you know? Don't get caught up in the strategy itself. Once you learn it, that's great. Now work on yourself. Work on your discipline, your control, your emotional state when you're trading. Okay, so we have reached a new low to the downtrend. So this could be where we bounce and we could start a bullish move here. I don't know that I will be trading the second or failed second entry short, even though we're expecting a bounce here with the new low being reached for the previous downtrend. It's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. I don't know that I'll trade a failure here, but we'll see. If we push strongly above the EMA, we already have our first entry short right here. First entry short. Maybe if we get one more push up, a second entry short with a nice bullish bar, I might take that long. I would not take a second entry short here, Matthew, because the trend is played out. You want to always be taking the setups on the correction phase before a new push phase begins. So the market, I'm sure you've all heard, always moves in twos. There's a push, a correction, push, correction, push, right? And so that's what we have here. We have this big push, correction, and then push. So this is where you want to be taking the setup on the correction. And that's why we wait for things to come back to the EMAs, because that like signifies, okay, that's the correction phase. We're coming back to the average. So you don't want to take it at the end of the push phase down here. See what would have happened if you took a shorts. Not good. Same here. This is the end of the push phase. So we don't want to take a second entry short here. We will likely, this trade, you know, by price action rules is already played out. Has a break, has a new low. I'm not saying that we're going to have a massive bullish move, but we could have a little more, a longer bullish correction. So we want to let that play out before looking to short again. And here is our second entry short. Now, if we hold below the EMA and do a lower high, okay, well, I'll consider that because prices are showing, you know what, there's still a lot more momentum. Maybe there's a larger channel. But yeah, you after a big push down like that, a new low is reached, you don't want to be too trigger happy on the second entries right away. Get some more confirmation first. So we got our push up. That's our second entry right there. If we get a lower high, I will consider taking that. And I think we have our gap closed. Yeah. Definitely have the gap closed to yesterday's close price, it looks like. Does not look like we're going to get that lower high. Looks like we might just drop here. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Let's get one little push up here. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would give us enough confirmation to consider this high probability and enter. There's one little lower high. Looks like it's just going to fall down. And now we have this bullish bar. I don't like taking a lower high right after that. Starting to get a little congested right here as well. So I think the best move now is to hold off for a while, get some more information, see if we are going to have a larger bounce here after getting a new low of that big downtrend. Testing that EMA. This is a critical moment here. Will the EMA hold, or are we going to start moving upwards? The battle of the EMA. Will it hold prices for us to move down? Or will we correct here? Well, we are pushing above the EMA here. So far it's holding, so bias is shifting a little bit, expecting maybe a bigger bounce here. Sometimes after these large moves down as well, you'll just see kind of a range form. That's what happened here, right? We had this big move down, and then all of a sudden we just kind of start chopping around for a bit. So that could happen again when you get these big pushes. Prices start consolidating. I'm gonna draw that now. Maybe like this. We'll see if that actually is accurate or not, but throw it up on the chart, see what happens. And with this move up too, this is technically our break here, so could get a push to new high. Dang, that double trap worked right there. So from the low right here, you have a first entry short, a second entry short. That failed. And then you get all of these longs pulling, starting to pile in right here when that second entry short fails. And then that reverses back down. That's a double trap. Trap the shorts when the second entry short failed. Trap the longs when the failure failed. And now we're headed back down. That's kind of a tricky setup to wrap your mind around. If you don't understand it, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Get the other stuff down first, and then you'll start to see them. It's basically just a failed failure, if you want to think about it that way. I almost took it too. Jeez Louise. Bounce right off here. Thought that might engulf that bar. Well, guys, Looks like we were slowing down, setting up in a range, consolidating here. Had to break a new low of the big downtrend. Still feels a little too early to buy, although we might get a nice little range set up here at the bottom, maybe even a failed breakout. Kind of tempting, to be honest. That's kind of the last thing I'm going to look at. Yeah, no, we're breaking below. Actually might get a breakout pullback here. Boy, oh boy, look at this. Well, now we got some more information. Breaking below that channel. Might want to start looking for a larger channel to form. Maybe like that. See if the 10K offers us any insights. Yeah, kind of same deal. That could be our channel. We've pushed too far for a breakout pullback. I think you're gonna have to watch it drop again. Wait for another correction. Dang, man. I think at this point, Matthew, it's starting to look like just a really strong bearish day. The stronger it gets, the more you can take setups kind of anywhere. So I think a second entry short does not look bad here at all, especially if it happens close to the EMA. Once you get a big trend, then you really just start looking at the EMA. Notice if it's holding prices or not. If you're staying below, then keep looking for shorts. I mean, eventually you'll get a larger correction. You would expect that to happen after a bounce like at the bottom of a big channel, right? So the second entry short forms around here. To me, that's a pretty safe trade. Also, if we have this little move here, could get a measured move down this way. So I think you still got room to the downside. Seems safe to me to take a second entry short if it forms nice. There's the first entry short. See if we can get a little bit more of a correction to the EMA. There we go, first entry short. We need to see one more push up to that level, and then we can safely take it. Come on, baby. Push up a little bit. Let's go. Give us a chance. Give us a fighting chance, please. Not gonna happen. Ooh, some late shorts getting wrecked. That's why, again, why you want to take stuff right at the EMA. Wait for high probability setups like second entries. If you just think that this is going down here and short right here, you just got worked. And again, kind of consolidating here. This seems to be the pattern for today. Drop, consolidate, drop, consolidate. That technically is our second entry short right here. Did not happen close to the EMA, so I couldn't take it. Might work. Yep, I just don't see any way to enter this right now. For me, I'm gonna have to wait for likely more of a drop to the bottom, a bigger correction that plays out, and then a push down and look for maybe a failed second entry long or a second entry short. But it looks like we're just going to drop from here. There's no way to get in this safely in a way that is a high probability. Starting to get congested here, so I'm gonna hold off for now. But so far, guys, looking like the bias might be bearish for the day. And if that is the case, really, like, don't look for longs. Just wait for bullish corrections to play out, even if they're big ones. When you have a trend day, you want to stay on the side of the trend. It will help you tremendously and increase your odds of success. So anyway, y'all, it's been good. Appreciate everyone participating in the chat, calling stuff out, hanging out in the mornings. It's been real. We will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. market time. Trade safe, everybody. Have a good one.